My name is Andrew Young. You may recognize me from the internet. I love my life, my cats, my job, and my community. I'm taking up your time today because on this journey of life, I've met wonderful people who make our city better, and I want you to meet them too. This is Andrew Young's Fantastic Talks with Remarkable People. Changemaker, culinary contessa, community queen, entrepreneur, employer, mentor, community advocate, philanthropic patron. When you're in the presence of our next guest, you're in the presence of greatness. She is the very definition of a leader. Whether it's sharp knives or her sharper wit, Jill's table will win you over after your first visit. I am honored to spend time with the Queen of King Street, Jill Wilcox.
Thank you, Andrew. Wow.
Welcome.
That was quite the introduction.
You deserve every single word of it.
Thank you.
So thank you for joining me today.
No, it's my pleasure.
I know you're used to being on stage teaching people how to cook.
Yes.
Now you get to sit back and spend some time with me. So
I'm looking forward to it.
That's kind of nice.
Yeah.
As am I.
Good.
My kitchen is filled with the products from Jill's table. I made a stew yesterday, and I was laughing because everything I put in there has your name on it. So I will. I guess I'll bring you some stew, and you can see how I
would like to try it.
Okay.
Yeah.
You've done such an amazing job filling your shop with amazing products and even better people.
Yes.
I've been shopping at your store for 20 years
yeah.
now, as long as I can remember. You've had a lot of the same people.
We have. We're very grateful. We have a fabulous team. We're now up to 12 people.
Yes.
And yes, many have been with me a long time, just like our customers.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
So, that being said, and I wanted to make what's the recipe for success joke, but that's not fair. What's your secret for making and keeping your staff happy?
Well, I think we have to always understand their value. You can't do it alone. You have to have a good team, and you need to surround yourself with people with the same core values. And once you do that, it's very easy to stay together, work together as a team. And we make sure that we do things like trade shows together. I have a chance to share with them places I go to,
right.
To explore and find new foods. I make sure I bring them along with me sometimes so that they understand.
Right.
And it really is a lovely community just within Jill's table. And I'm very, very grateful for having such a terrific team.
My wife and I, we love visiting there. My mom and I, we love visiting there.
Yeah, love seeing your mom.
I know, she's so great. You've had such an amazing impact on the food culture in London. What is it about food that's so important to you?
Well, I kind of jokingly say I got really interested in food because my sister fed me Kraft dinner and hot dogs when she had to babysit me. But I think my father introduced me to Chinese food at a very young age. He sponsored a young chef from China.
Okay.
And that was kind of, I think, the turning point for me that food could be so interesting. And then as I was growing up, we lived very close to farmland, which is now all fully developed. And I would walk down to pick corn and get tomatoes for dinner, and really understood the value of fresh local ingredients. And that just kind of quietly, we never really thought of anything at the time, but when I was in my late teens, I started to travel and again exploring more different types of food, and it just became such a passion for me. And knowing that there's so many different cultures, different foods, and of course the way that brings people together is very, very important. And so I've been very lucky to be able to travel the world and travel within our own country, our own city, province, just finding really great local products as well, and trying to share with people how awesome it is to go to farmers markets and use good ingredients and create really great food. And it doesn't have to be hard.
Right.
And that's the cooking class end of things. That's kind of one of our missions, is to make sure that people understand you can create healthy, wonderful food, and it doesn't have to take a lot of time.
Right.
Yeah.
You've shared your time with people. You've shown people how to cook. The sharing that I want to talk about right now is in regards to the Jill Wilcox Foundation. The Jill Wilcox Foundation improves the lives of women and children through food.
Yes.
Can you take me through that?
Absolutely.
And
yes.
I'd love to learn more about it.
Sure. Well, we as businesses, we get asked to donate and contribute to the community, and we've been very happy to do that, very lucky we've been able to do that. But I got thinking back in about 2012, as much as I loved contributing to many different causes, I wanted it to be meaningful and something that was really impactful. And I got to know a woman by the name of Jill Wilcox, who did a great program through Thames Valley whereby young mums could come and finish their high school. And Jane would share with me some of the difficulties these young mums had in providing food for themselves and their children. And we would often send things over to Jane to be able to provide to the kids. And some of these stories were just heart-wrenching, how these kids would have to dumpster dive to provide food. They didn't know how to prepare food and where to get good food. So that was kind of the seed that started the whole foundation, that we would direct our monies to programs and different groups that would provide food education, primarily aimed at women and children. We've sponsored through the foundation, we've done Boys and Girls Club, we've done Roth Home, and many of those programs provide nutritious meals for the kids. Sometimes it's lunch, sometimes it's an after-school program. We, as you know, built Marymount a culinary garden.
Absolutely.
And we're still working away trying to make that the best it can be, so that the families there can come out to a garden, the chef can work with things there, and again, there's a real education component there. So that's been very very rewarding. We have been able to support many organizations, and many of them are ones that fall through the cracks through other people that just aren't able to help. Right. So we work with people like the London Community Foundation and finding out who's fallen through the cracks, who needs help, and we do a shout out for people to send in applications. We've done work with YOU, Growing Chefs, and it's just been fantastic. And we've learned a lot about all these great organizations in the city as well.
Right.
Yeah.
No, I adore how much you give back to the community, and it's always so purposeful. And I think it's really important to find that focus and that passion, and you've done that very, very well.
Yeah, it was a good fit.
Yeah. So I know how it's affected me, but how do you think Jill's Table has affected the family and the connection between food and family?
I'm really proud with what we've done, what our team has done, and it's been lovely to watch generations of kids grow up. And we've seen, in some cases, 3 generations of families that will shop at the store, and we've watched the kids grow up, and we've watched how they've been interested in food. We had one little one in yesterday, 2 years old, came in. We have whole grain hearth on Saturdays at the store, and she went right back. She knew they were there because she loves their bread. Right. And so that is just fantastic. We get lots of great comments from people about meals they've had that they've learned, or an ingredient that they've really enjoyed and that they can't be without. So it's been fun. Food's an incredible catalyst.
Sure it is.
Sitting around the table with your friends, with your family, it's just so important.
Right.
Yeah.
I know growing up, that was the only non-negotiable, is everybody got home from work, everybody got home from school, and we sat down. Back then, the phone was still hanging on the wall, but still, no phones, not getting the phone,
you're dating
anything
yourself.
like that, right? So it's this beard is dating me. So it was always that point where we all got together and really spent some family time.
Well, it's interesting you mentioned that, because I did not sit around a table as a kid.
Right.
My dad worked evenings. My sister and brother were very good athletes, so they were always away at sports. Right. And I sat at a TV tray watching TV for my meal. Okay. So I think that has a big impact on why I'm doing what I'm doing and why my store is called Jill's Table, because I realized how important it was. And it was about maybe once or twice a year that our family actually sat around a table.
Is that right?
Yeah, and so we still had conversation despite the fact we were sitting in the living room watching football.
Right.
But
sure.
I realized how the table is really important.
Absolutely it is. One last question before you go. Do you have any advice for anybody that's looking to get involved in the community?
Oh my, just do it. There's so many great people already that are doing things in the community, and it's extremely rewarding. You meet so many fabulous people when you just put yourself out there and you want to give and you want to do something in the community. It's very, very rewarding. You get a lot more back, for sure.
Excellent. Well, I always appreciate your time, whether it's in the store, whether it's outside the store when we're having our coffees, or whether it's on stage here.
Yep.
I appreciate your time, and
My pleasure.
I definitely appreciate the Wolf Performance Hall for being such a great host with us today. Jill Wilcox Foundation, Jill's Table, all of the things. You're incredible, and I adore you. Thank you so much for your time today.
You're very kind. Thank you, Andrew.
Appreciate it. Thank you so much.